Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, testing. Bob, how are you? Hello, Bob. I was just on YouTube, and nobody was on YouTube, so I'm going to do a live lesson here. The traffic seems to be a little bit better for now. But did you get my email, Bob? We were going to do Facebook tonight. We're doing Facebook tomorrow, 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock. And I guess this would be cool. Did you get my email, Robert? And this is being recorded as well. Okay? So, where do we start tonight? What is going on with this? Alright. So, I said that it's not my computer, and it's the server where I serve the video comes from on my site. It's being repaired. They're doing some the changes. So next week it'll be back to normal. Monday, 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Facebook. Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube, and my site, 7 p.m. Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. And Friday we're doing this. Okay? Now I getting a lot of requests to learn how to read. You know, let me just put my thoughts into this, all right? Reading. Now I could take you to a point of reading, like take a chart and read it from a chart, or go out and do a Broadway show, or do a classical piece with the symphony orchestra, so on and so forth. But that's not the object at first. See, there's a lot of guys who just don't know how to read. And I'm getting a lot of emails that I should be doing a couple lessons on reading. Well, I'm going to. But I'm gonna stream on Facebook, and there's also another room that I have, the reading room. So Robert, why don't you look that up and join? Okay, and I will be doing some lessons there on Mondays and Fridays. Some basic reading, just to understand the math of reading, not phrasing or anything like that, or any kind of concept or structure or whatever, as far as playing jazz or whatever. But what we're going to do is learn how to read basic quarter notes, eighth notes, sixteenths, 30 seconds, and all kinds of different combinations. Understand the counting systems. Understand the definitions of time signatures. Working with the metronome as a quarter note pulse, or a half note pulse, or a whole note pulse. And we'll get into that, okay? In the meantime, you missed today's lesson, right, Robert? At 1 p.m. you were late. And what I was doing, and I did that for Stacy's benefit. She says she can play triplets safe with her left hand on the snare drum. She can play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's not a problem for her, and shouldn't be a problem for anybody. But when we have to play the jazz time, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have 2 and 4. Bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now you're gonna play the triplets with the left hand. She says she can't do that. She gets all confused. Things don't come together. Well, you can't play something like that. I don't, Paul. You can't play something like that unless you pay your dues. You got to take each part slow, control it. For example, if I'm playing the bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4, well, how does that in relationship to my ride cymbal? Well, my ride cymbal is 1 and 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1. Now you could play that and maintain that free stroke down, a free stroke down, and playing the bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, feathering the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. Then add a hi-hat. So you make a couple thousand mistakes, you correct them. And once you get that controlled, now you want to drop the triplets in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's not about how fast you can play it. I'm going to definitely have, next lesson I'm going to have the metronome set up. Okay? And you need to play, the metronome is going to tell you the truth about you with time. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm taking 4 voices. Well, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 voices and making them one note. Do you understand what I mean by making them one note? If I play my ride cymbal by itself, that's one voice. But if I play my ride cymbal and my bass drum, it's a different voice. It's a different note. It's still the quarter note, but a different sound. Without, with. Then I add the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1. Now there was a very simple exercise for those who are struggling to maintain that cymbal pattern. That's extremely important there. I'm not playing a free time, I'm locked in to that straight ahead jazz pattern. Okay, so now, you have problems with, say, playing that, the bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4, the hi-hat 2 and 4, what are you going to do with the left hand? That's what you want to solo with. We're not comping, we're not doing any kind of song structure. All right, what we're doing is learning how to control our limbs inside of the ride cymbal pattern. And this is a very basic and very, very simple pattern. Now you guys have been with me for a while. You know how to do the triplets, the 8th note triplets, or the breaking up of the 8th note triplets against the jazz time. Some are easy, some are a little bit difficult. The ones that are difficult, the ones that you keep missing or making mistakes on, that's what you got to practice. It's repetition, okay? Now, the basic, simple exercise. I'm going to maintain all 4 limbs. My bass drum's going to be constant. It's feathered in. My ride cymbal, right? Hi-hat. 1, 2. Now, I want to develop control. I want to be able to play that constantly against something. So I'm challenging it. So what are we going to play? Okay. Let's take the stick control book. And that book always comes into everybody's face. That's why it's such a great book. And I really feel and I really believe that stick control, everything you want to know about drumming is in that book. Not a problem. And I'll go to my grave sticking up to that. Okay, so let's take the stick control book. And this is very basic. And if you guys ever want to teach somebody this, it's great for you. And it's also good to revisit this kind of thing. We take the first line. And we're going to think of the first line. It's written as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? So, we're going to eliminate the rights. I'm going to think of line 1 as a 4-measure increment. The first 3 sticking patterns, right, left, I'm going to think of 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I think that way, it's a 4-measure increment. Okay? So what I want to do is, and it's simple, but yet you're developing control and focus. I bet both of you guys that are watching this right now never played this. 1, 2, my bass drum, feathered in. Now I'm going to do line 1. I'm going to play all the lefts, but I'm thinking of line 1 and quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that sounds like bullshit. That's easy. Yeah, you guys been playing for a while. We're working on the triplets, breaking them all down. But that's really simple. Yet it takes a lot of focus and a lot of control. So if you revisit that, yeah, you're learning how to get that sound with that ride cymbal. You're feathering in the bass drum. You're playing the left foot 2 and 4, and you're commanding your left hand to play those notes against that pattern. Do you understand that? It's simple. So we go to, say for example, we go to line 2 now. Line 2, it's going to be interpreted. Remember, we're taking all the rights out. So line 2 now would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, I'm sorry, 2, 3, that was wrong. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it would be on 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So you're playing this style. It's a great exercise. Line 2. Now I'm controlling that bass. I'm feathering the bass from in. I'm blending the hi-hat into the cymbal. Now I'm going to play line 2. Well, we eliminated all the rights. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you understand that, guys? Now you can do the whole page like that. It's not advanced. But yet, what you're doing is you're giving yourself a chance to revisit this. Now when I play a tune, I don't play just that. I mean, I play the tune. I make that ride cymbal, the bass drum, the snare drum, and the hi-hat part of the melody and the structure. Right now, all this is a mathematical division of the notes and developing control. That's simple. Now, besides me, you have to do that. If you're unable to do that, well, you can't sit down and go, do it that fast and expect to get it right. You got to graduate to that. You got to slow it down, control it. Once you control it, you can play anything against that ride cymbal pattern, within reason, But anyway, if you ever decide to teach somebody, Robert, Paul, if you ever decide to teach somebody, well, that's one way to enter playing the jazz pattern. But I know that you guys know how to play it, and what you want to do is, slow it down, revisit. That's the opposite. Now, yesterday we worked on a little bit of jazz patterns, no problem. Alright, so let's work on some more jazz patterns. You say you're having trouble with the triplets, Paul. Well, I just don't mean to direct it at you. I'm having trouble with the triplets, and so does everybody else who plays the triplets. When they restrict themselves and they lock themselves in to playing one thing routinely. So, for example, if I want to do the and does of the triplet with my left hand, 1 and da, 2, 3, 4, and that's what I'm going to play with my left hand. But I'm going to play it against the ride cymbal and the bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4 feathered in, and the hi-hat. Okay, 2 and 4. So we have this. We're blending that in. It's in 1, 2. Now both of them come down on 2. It's not 1, 2. It's not after. It's right on it, in the pocket. 1, 2. Now the bass drum. 1. One constant sound. But I'm thinking triplets, guys. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2. Now I'm playing the left hand now, playing that triplet 4. The and does. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and easy. Simple. But I'll do that for 5 minutes. So that's why I play 1, 2, 3, 4. You just can't start there, man. You gotta, start somewhere where you have total control of that right hand, the right foot, the left foot, and the snare drum. Now, what you want to do, and we did this with the stick control book from the Chaffee book, if you remember, he makes the triplet with the snare drum, and he makes the triplet with the bass drum. Now, as you progress, it doesn't really get difficult, it gets different. As long as you maintain the focus, you will definitely be able to play it. Yeah, you're going to make a whole lot of mistakes. I guarantee you, in the course of a day, or when I'm practicing, I make 1,000 more mistakes than you do. So what does that mean? I should hang it up? No. That makes me aware of my weaknesses and what I really need to review. So let's take that next triplet. Now you don't want to play between the snare drum and the bass drum. Now you want to assign the bass drum to that figure. But listen to my ride cymbal. I'm always free stroke, bang, or free stroke. I'm getting that coordination thing going on. Bang, this is the sound. Straight quarter note. Here's straight quarter note. I want to maintain that. 1, 2. Now I'm going to play the and does now with the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. It's simple. Of course it is, Paul. Absolutely. You know, God bless the internet. God bless Facebook. God bless YouTube. I guess I'm not a religious person, but hey, and all the great players of the world, they did not just sit down and play stuff like that. Man, they worked on it like I'm showing you, and how you should work on it. You're revisiting it. That's all. And where it's weak, you want to make it stronger. That's all you're doing. First of all, you have nothing to prove. Oh, I can't play it, man. I'm suicidal. No, man. Oh, he could play it faster. That means absolutely nothing. What you do, what you work with, how you practice is you. And if you sit there and practice and somebody says to you, man, you really suck. You know what? What you should say is thank you. It's so much easier, and go forward. You're trying to get better. You're trying to control yourself. And that's all it's about. You're not proving nothing to nobody. But that's just the way I practice. I don't sit here and blow my brains out. All these instructors, hey man, you play it like this. And that's not instructing anybody, man. Hey Ray. Boss. No. I'm just like everybody else, man. First off, we're all on the same journey. Hopefully. And that's to get better. Yeah, we're all different. Maybe I've been playing 1,000 years. Maybe some guy's been playing 2 months. And we're in different places, yet we're on the same journey. It's simple. Well, it's not so much you're kicking your ass. It's that you're trying to get better. Well, yeah, I guess you could say, like let's be one of the boys. Yeah, I kick my ass, man. I make all these mistakes and I pound myself with a drumstick in the head. No, that's not good. But yeah, man, you need to work. Where you're weak, you're weak. You want to make that weakness stronger. Now, when I first had the advanced techniques for the modern drummer by Jim Chapin, which in my opinion is a great book because of the graphics, but the figures I mean, he designed it perfect. You know, showing you how to play the different figures, how they are in relationship to this. He played, I think, a little too stiff. The way I learned how to open up and feel more relaxed and swing was from the syncopation book. And then developed the melody. Then I got into another zone with the AABA, playing the music and whatever. And I've come across in my teachings many different instructional books that are very, very helpful and designed to help you. Excuse me. They're designed to help you develop your jazz independence. I mean, like I said, I don't sit there and play when I'm playing with a band. That's pretty stiff itself. You're playing the melody. And I just play time, but I also incorporated that into the melody. But before you can incorporate that into the melody, you need to control it someplace. And this is what you're doing right now, controlling it. So, you know, we have the exercises from the Chafee book. See, Ray, a lot of these guys that are watching this lesson right now, like Paul and Robert, they've been coming to my live online lessons almost every day. And we've done a lot of different variations. I'm just bringing this out there because there was a young lady who says, yeah, I could play the jazz pattern, and I could play triplets, and I can play the bass drum and hi-hat, but when I put them together, everything falls apart. Well, then you can't play it. Sure, anybody can go ding, chong, ding, chong, ding, but if you can't play against it and challenge it, it's not doing you no good. I just wanted to bring that out. Now, we talked about reading. And I got zoned out because I started thinking about the jazz time, playing charts. Reading is extremely essential, without a doubt. And there's a lot of online drum teachers that don't teach, they kind of like demonstrate their abilities so you can see their abilities. And, you know, wow, I'm going to come back and see this guy, he knows what he's doing. Well, that's all bullshit. What you need to do here is know how rhythm operates. Be good with fractions and math. Know the language of drumming, of music. 4/4 time, 5/4 time, 6/8, 7/8, 9/8, so on and so forth. Know what a quarter note is, a half note, an eighth note, a whole note, and the rest, and so on and so forth. How to relate it to these different time signatures. And now, being I just said that, I'm going to zone out someplace else. I was just in contact today, and we confirmed a date and a time and an agenda for a live lesson here. Now, I don't know if most of you guys probably never heard of him, and that's sad because this man is a great player, and that's Jason Gianni. He lives in New Jersey. He used to be in California. He's an instructor at DCI, Drummers Collective Institute in New York City. And he's out with his band. I don't remember the name of the band, so I do apologize for that. But he's going to come here and he's going to do a live lesson. It could be an hour, it could be 2 hours. And the agenda is going to be odd times. Now, a lot of guys think they can play odd times. They don't really know how to play in odd times, to be honest with you. Not if they're using the you like the sunglasses. Should I put mine on there, Ray? Jason Gianni. I've known him for quite a while. And I've seen him in clinic a few times. And I did a clinic with him, as a matter of fact. And I always refer to him, and I don't know if I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I say the man with 10 brains. Because that guy has coordination that's unbelievable. And he's going to straighten out the odd time signatures. this? What? That's okay. Yeah, he did the SpongeBob theme as well. And there's a couple other things he did. But I told my little daughter that he's coming here to do a show. She's all excited because he's the drummer on the theme. But anyway, that's an I guess that's sort of an accomplishment. You know, it's and there's a good example. He didn't just go into the studio, open up the chart, and read it and play it. A couple times, you know, they had to work with it. Or today, the way they do it is you have headphones on, and the rest of the band's playing through the headphones. They were there already, and you're playing with it. You know, that kind of thing. So you're from California, Ray. He studied with I forgot his name. Oh man, Pete Magliona, something like that. He has these things with the odd time signatures and polyrhythms. I forgot. I apologize to him if he should ever watch this. Great player, and I think he taught Mike Johnson. You know that you guys know Mike Johnson, right? And him and Jason sort of didn't get along. You know, well, they got along, but they had different approaches and different concepts after a while. So they kind of split part of company. But Jason is an outrageous drummer. And he's going to be sitting here with all his cymbals, all his drums, and overhead and a couple other different cameras, which I think that would be nice. That's November 22nd. It's a Sunday at 3 p.m. Got that, Paul? Got that, Bob? You guys still there? I'm sorry, I get into talking too much. Anyway, I'm putting the program together for reading on Mondays and Fridays. And I have this unusual way to teach reading. And it's a foolproof reading. You can't make a mistake. Or if you're uncertain, it's in front of you to proofread it. And that's the stick control book. That's him, Jason Gianni. Okay. And I'm putting the program together starting Monday on Facebook. I get a lot of emails saying, hey man, why don't you teach me how to read? Now the guy's been playing 30 years, he's playing his ass off, but he don't know how to read. When you learn how to read and you understand the language, it makes you a better player, more organized. And more organized that you are, thank you, Ray. Anyway, that's what I'm putting together. All right, you guys, how about Paul and Ray and Bob? Anything you want to go over in particular? Polyrhythms. Which one is that? Which polyrhythm is that, guys? No, Paul. 3 against 2 is this. Alright, that's a good one. Well, let's work on that one. 3 against 4. Remember how I explained how to divide that? How I approach it? I mean, you know, you're going to see 3 against 4 as 4 quarter notes, and on top of that, half note triplets inside of the measure, which is 3 against 4. But I'm taking it to another zone. And that's a 3 against 4. I'm going to play 3 with my bass drum. 1, 2, 3. Now that's a triplet. Now, usually somebody counts a triplet two different ways here. One and the. Two and or one triplet. Two triplet. Well, that last one triplet, two triplet, three triplet, four triplet, I really don't like to use that because it really doesn't work for me. It seems to get in my way. So my norm for counting triplets is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's an eighth note triplet. Now when I need to open that space up in the triplet, the 1, 2, 3, so I can get the 4 inside of there. So how do I do that? And I explained the rules. 3 over 4 or 3 against 4, okay, is a triplet with 16th notes with the right hand. So I'm doing triplets with the bass drum. So now I can count for, like we did the 3 against 2, 1 and not and. You can count 1 and as well, Bob. I count the triplet for this particular exercise as 1, 2, 3, or 1E and 2E and 3E and. When I count it that way, 1E and 2E and 3 and, that's a total of 12 counts. So if you do the math, 3 against 4, 3 times 4 is 12. So I counted 12 times. 1E and that's 4. 2E and that's 8. 3E and that's 12. So now I'm going to put the triplet inside that. I'll play the triplet with the bass drum. The bass drum is 1E and 2E and 3E and 1E and 2E and 3E and. So I established my triplet. Now I'm going to play the 4 with my right hand. On the snare drum, I guess it'd be cool. Against the 3. I'm just playing, I'm thinking that the 4/16 says 1E and 2E and 3E and 1E and 2E and 3E and. Okay? So now I'm going to add the bass drum, playing the 3, and my 4 is going to be with the right hand. 1E and 2E and 3E and. I don't know if you can hear the 3 against 4, that's slow, but it's there. I dropped an accent on the first 3. You understand that, Paul? Robert? Who else is here? Alexandri Fiera. Okay, I guess. How are you, Alexander? Alexandri? 3 against 4. What I'm going to do, one of these lessons coming up, you got it? We're going to do 3 against 2, 3 against 4, 3 against 5. Huh, that's crazy. 5 against 2, and then 5 against 3, and 5 against 4. So we separate them, you understand which ones are which, and how I break it up. You got it, Bob? Good. How about you, Paul? You understand it? You don't need it written out. You can hear it. Well, yeah, you will. Didn't I send it to you? I sent you some sheets, or teasers rather, on a stick control book with polyrhythms. Don't you remember me sending them to you? Just to give you an example. If you remember the exercise, the one surface hand exercise, where we made R equals 4 rights, L equals 4 lefts. Okay, so now, I'm going to play that exercise. Do we understand that? So now, what I'm going to do on the bottom is play the triplet against that exercise. That's 4 notes. That's 4/16. And for the downbeat, I'm going to play the triplet. Now let's not forget the forgotten foot. You know, let's play. I should play there's a couple different ways to play the hi-hat. I normally play it on the downbeat, but I'm going to do, when I play my right hand, I'm going to go 1. I'm going to play the 3 with the bass drum. When I do my left hand, I'm going to play the 3 with the hi-hat. That I didn't write out yet. Do we understand that? Any questions on that? How many people are watching here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoever's watching, please get into the chat. Ask a couple questions. That's what the chat's for, or the comment section. Now, again, let me make that announcement. On Monday and Friday, I'm going to start off with basic reading. And it's always good to, even if you're a great reader, is to revisit the beginning. And I'll share with everybody my approach to teaching how to read. And it's not just straight ahead like, this is 4/4 time, there's 4 beats to a measure, and you get 4 quarter notes. No. You're home alone, you're in your practice studio, you don't know how to read. So you're going to say to yourself, hey man, am I reading that right? Well, I'm going to show you how to correct it and how to make sure that you're reading it right without anybody being there but the manuscript. What's the yes for, Paul? You understand it? Okay. All right, I have to go, guys. Man, it's been like 45 minutes, 50 minutes on Facebook. Anybody who would like some PDFs on the lessons, email me. Paul, can you put my email in there, or Bob? mattpatella1001 at gmail.com. Email me, I'll put you on my mailing list. I'll send you every Sunday or Monday morning the agenda for the week, the time and location. And if you need some PDFs, I'll send them to you as well. Okay? Okay, Robert. Now remember, tomorrow, 1 p.m., we're going to YouTube, and 7 p.m. YouTube. Next week we'll be back to normal. Thank you, Paul. Okay, guys, I hope I've been a little helpful or insightful or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to see everybody tomorrow on YouTube, 1 p.m. Okay? Have a good night. Any questions, email me. Any requests, email me. See you then.